set out across that way to strike them down, to make them pay and change their ways, their evil ways. But I can't hide. Whoa. And I won't hide. Whoa. Get ready to fly.
What is going on, guys? Paralyzed here, and today I'm doing a vlog about Call of Duty Ghosts. And I haven't done a vlog for a while, and I haven't uploaded a lot lately in the last week or so. I know I've done a couple of montages. I did my introductory P1 Paralyzed montage and the SOT Arnie montage, and they got some good views, so I'm glad about that. I've just done another montage, which is for a sniping clan. A guy on Twitter called CordyDMLG asked me to do a montage and to join the sniping clan, so I've done that. And I've uploaded the video to my channel, and I'm not quite sure yet when it will be uploaded to their channel, but I'll keep you guys informed about that. Anyways, moving back to Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, this is going to be the good, the bad, and what I think needs to change. Sorry, guys. Got a bit of a froggy, bad chest at the moment. But yeah. Anyways, I've got Call of Duty Ghosts. I've played it for the past week, and that's why I haven't uploaded. There's several reasons for that, which I'll get to towards the end, and you'll understand sort of why. But firstly, graphically wise, Call of Duty Ghosts, the graphics are really good on it. I wouldn't say they were better than Black Ops 2. It's my personal preference. I liked Black Ops because the colours, they're more realistic. It's more colourful, the maps. Things stand out more, which, for me, is better. I tend to find that Infinity Ward games, the colours are a little bit too dull. Not that that's something that I won't get it for, but I don't know, guys. I just prefer colour. I think the maps look a bit bland. I don't know whether that's just me or whether you guys have noticed that too. Another good thing about it is the sniping. The hitboxes for sniping seem to have been improved greatly. I don't know whether that's to do with the new scopes or they've slightly modified the engine. But from my personal perspective, what they've done with the sniping is really good. And I tend to find now that when I'm sniping, I'm not actually getting shots that go through people or randomly veer off in a direction. Generally, it's pretty accurate and I'm hitting a lot more shots than I normally would. So from that perspective, it's very, very good. Now, moving on slightly more. I feel bad saying this, but this is the only two good things about it. Oh no, there's one more thing. I'm glad that they've actually implemented a way of muting all players in the game whilst playing, because that wasn't a feature we had before. Normally you had to go to the actual leaderboard thing and mute them individually. So I'm glad they've added that feature because it's very helpful. What I'm disappointed about, which is kind of ironic, is that they've removed the feature where you can mute them all in the lobby, which is quite irritating because I don't like individually muting people. I don't know whether that's just me, whether I've not found a feature or whether it just isn't there, but I seem to have not been able to find it. So Infinity Ward, if you are watching this, which I highly doubt, but if you are watching this, please bring that feature back. Now, moving on to bad things. Firstly, let's start with maps. The maps, they aren't what they're promised to be. They said that the new maps, you would be able to run around in different directions to get to places. Now, whilst there is different ways of running to places, I would say the maps are still pretty much the same as they were before, where you had 3 routes to get to places and that was it. So, from my perspective, the maps haven't changed that much. Dynamically, it's still 3 routes to get there, and there's just more buildings in the way. I do like the dynamics in the map, so there's like being able to open and close sections. I think that's a feature that needed to be added, a bit more of interactivity. So from that perspective, the maps have improved slightly, but I wouldn't say they were that much better than what they were before. They're not, I'll rephrase that, they haven't lived up to the hype. There was a lot of hype about the maps, saying that there'll be this and that, and I don't think they were as good as they were saying they were going to be from my perspective. You might have a different point of view on that, but personally to me, I don't think they've changed the maps greatly that much. Now, this has been better in my life for the last week, and you guys have probably noticed this. It's a spawning system. I have no idea what they've done with the spawning system, but it's horrible. Like, there isn't spawn zones, you just spawn randomly next to somebody, and it's never really a teammate. I've only ever spawned next to a teammate probably 1 out of 10 times. Normally, when I spawn, I end up spawning in front of an enemy, and end up getting shot, and sometimes you end up spawning behind them, but often you end up spawning right in front of them, or if you're not in front of them, you spawn in a spot where as soon as you move, you are in front of them. And I've watched a lot of guys play, and I've noticed it from my friends and myself, and we've had a lot of problems with spawning and end up dying as a result, and it's quite irritating and frustrating as a player. Another thing, this kind of moves back to the maps slightly. Camping. I don't know what it is about this game, but camping seems to be prevalent. I think that's the way they've designed it. The maps, they suit campers. They really, really do. If a team locks down an area or a player gets themselves in a good spot, they can camp for nearly a full match. And it's frustrating from my perspective because I try to do well. And when you combine the spawning with camping, it's very easy to get trapped on various points in the map. Because if they're in different spots camping, you will find that you probably will spawn in front of them or very close to them where they can see you. And I think that needs changing. Obviously they can't change the maps, but I think they need to change the spawn system so spawn trapping doesn't become one of the things that occurs too often. The next thing I want to move on is the fact that there's no theatre. I don't even think there's any live streaming support. I didn't see anything. I've looked around as a YouTuber, obviously, and a montage maker. Theatre was a really useful tool because it allowed me to collect clips and pre-edit them, before I actually record them on my computer. Because people think that theatre does everything for you, but it actually doesn't. But what I used theatre for was in Modern Warfare 3, collect my clips, chop them up, merge the file, and then I've just got the one file that I can record and then edit. So it takes some of the work out, so I'm not having to edit a full video. Now, from a YouTubing point of view, why is theatre a problem other than montages? Because it doesn't record gameplay. It means that as a player, I now have to record all my games and then pick the best game for a commentary, and that's why I haven't uploaded recently, because as I haven't had theatre, I haven't actually had my capture card and everything set up for this, so I have now, and there will be gameplay, and I'm going to do some class setups in the next few days. But I really want them to bring theatre back. They're going to bring broadcaster mode in for esports, and MLG, and UMG, etc. But that isn't enough. I think theatre is a really important thing for people, because it's not just for YouTubers, it's just for normal people who might hit an amazing shot and want to share it with their friends, share a moment, or whatever it is. Also, in Black Ops 2, you can look at other people's channels, you can look at the clips. And it was more of a social interaction than anything. It really did popularise the game, and by removing a lot of them features, I think that not Call of Duty, Infinity Ward is hurting the franchise. It certainly hurt the competitive scene, because yes, they are bringing broadcaster mode in, but at the beginning the competitive scene felt hurt. But anyway, that's just a gripe of mine. It probably doesn't affect a lot of you, but that's my personal opinion. Now, moving on a little bit further, I'm a bit disappointed that there's no form of league play. Yes, there's clan versus clans, but that's different. You have to have a 4-man clan. And league play was good because it allowed you to play in a kind of competitive setting. Obviously, you're not playing pro all the time or against pro players, but you're playing semi-professionally, and it was a really fun feature. Especially with the class setups, it forced you to play tactically and really think about what you were doing. And for me, I enjoyed that more in Black Ops 2 than anything, and I'm really disappointed that it wasn't brought into Call of Duty Ghosts. What I'm also disappointed about is that Hardpoint and Capture the Flag's gone. Capture the Flag was one of my favourite game mods. So was traditional Search and Destroy. I don't like Search and Rescue. I think the fact that you can bring back players is ridiculous and frankly quite stupid. The whole point of Search and Destroy was that you played to survive, and in Search and Rescue you don't do that. You don't, because you know that your teammate can bring you back, so you're not as cautious, it's not as tactical. So that's another gripe of mine, and I'm sorry if this sounds really negative. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to give a review, and I'm disappointed, I guess. That's what I'll say. I'm disappointed with Call of Duty Ghosts. It's ruined a lot of things and removed a lot of things that it shouldn't have. And it seems a bit stupid, and I'll tell you why. Because PS4 and the Xbox One, they're bringing in social media to a level we've never seen before. I mean, the PS4, for God's sake, and user interface is integrating Twitch and Ustream. Yes, it's going to be integrated for everything. So you can live stream whatever you're playing. Which I think is absolutely brilliant, and all credit to Sony for putting that feature in. But when you think about it in that aspect, it makes you realise that if console makers are doing this, and a lot of games are doing this, such as FIFA, and Titanfall is going to have a similar feature. I also believe Destiny is, and I think Knack is. Now, these games have got this feature in, and I think there's a few other games, I'm not sure, that have a similar feature where you can share moments. Why would why would Infinity Ward take that feature out? It seems a bit ridiculous. And they've taken game modes out that Battlefield 4 is inserted, which seems also a bit counterintuitive. It's hurting the franchise, basically, to hurting themselves. And I can see why a lot more people are saying that Battlefield 4 is better than Call of Duty Ghosts, because to an extent it is. They've got a really good competitive scene at the moment. They've got really good features, really good game modes, and the graphics are stunning. And they're integrating features that Call of Duty is removing. But anyways guys, I'm sorry if this seems like a negative review. I am enjoying Call of Duty Ghosts, and I am going to do class setups and videos. I'm just a bit disappointed that certain features that I enjoyed have been removed, and you might feel the same. If you do, leave a comment in the section and let me know what you guys think. Anyway, watch out for them class setups. They should be coming out in the next couple of days when I get round to it. It will be soon, I promise. I'm not going to have a long gap again. Anyway guys, I've been paralysed. As always, hit that like button below and subscribe. And peace out.
The crow flies straight, a perfect line, on the devil's back until you die.